Welcome to the Little House on the Prairie Review. I am Arley Engels, an author, writer, and member of the Engles Family. I often work on the history of our family, moving past the Laura Ingalls Wilder generation and into current generations.
And I am Brett Cullum, a pop culture critic of movies and theater, someone who brings in a lot of entertainment industry knowledge.
This podcast, we're going to cover the Netflix reboot of The Little House on the Prairie, which is scheduled for release in 2026.
We will also look at the books written by Laura Ingalls Wilder, the television show from the 70s, and all things Engles Family related.
Hope you enjoy it. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Arley Engels. I am an author, writer, and a member of the Engles Family that was the subject of The Little House on the Prairie books and TV series.
And I'm Brett Cullum. And I'm joining Lee today to help him out a little bit with the entertainment side of things. I've been writing reviews of movies and books and plays and things like that for many years. So I'm kind of coming in with a little bit more of the entertainment side of things. So
he's our entertainment expert. I'm kind of the expert on the Engles Family, the real Engles Family.
Correct.
Yeah, so what are we doing? So our goal is kind of bring a couple of things to the surface. First, we're going to talk about the reboot that was announced by Netflix of the Little House on the Prairie series. We're also going to talk about the books that Laura wrote. We'll talk about the TV series that was previously done in the 70s. And then also the Engles Family. Where is it today? What's going on with the Engles Family today? And I wrote, my first book was Engels on the Prairie. It was adding a fourth generation of the Engles family and life and experience living in America. So we're going to talk about that and from that perspective as well.
And the big thing to remember is that the actual books were published in the 1930s. There were 9 of them. And then ironically, the show, the Legacy series, actually ran from 1974 to 1983 for 9 seasons. They kind of mirror each other in that way.
It's one season per book, but
yeah, they didn't do that. The television series is not based on the books, apart from the first season. That sticks pretty close. But they had decided that they wanted to keep the sets and they wanted to keep the location of Walnut Grove, so the family did not move.
Which is kind of a separation from the actual Engles family. Not only Laura's family, but the Engles family today. My family did, I did. We moved around quite a bit.
Yeah, but Michael Landon really wanted to keep those sets and really wanted to just kind of stay where he was on location and wanted to do that. So I think there's a lot of people that are fans of either the books or the series, and there's 2 different experiences there. So I think one of the things about the Netflix show, which is a reboot, the creators of it are describing it as part hopeful family drama, part epic survival tale, and it's also an origin story for the American West, because that was what the Engels did, is they head west and started settling things like that. And it's also going to offer a kaleidoscopic view of the struggles and triumphs of those who shaped the frontier. So it's definitely description of the Engels family and them moving a lot. So
true.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that'll connect? Echo your history a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, writing my book was really, really easy because I could associate what was going on by the house we were living in. We moved almost every single year. But yeah, we'll talk about that in the future. But they have begun casting.
They have a pretty good amount of the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yes, it's actually in production as well.
Right.
So yeah, casting it, they've casted Crosby Fitzgerald as Carolyn. She's known from Palm Royale, and she's also going to be in an upcoming series about Amanda Knox.
Yeah, and Palm Royale is a series that was on Apple Plus. So viewers might be familiar with her work. And of course, she's playing Ma, or Caroline Ingalls. Right. So there you are. And then I think Charles, which is Pa, it's Luke Bracey. And what's interesting about Luke is that he's actually from Australia. He's one of the few that is actually from another country that's in the cast. He was in that Point Break remake that they did in 2015, something like that. And he was really, really popular on Netflix. He did a couple of kind of romance movies called Maybe I Do and Holidays. And those were huge hits for Netflix. So he's pretty familiar with Netflix. And I think that one of the things that people were really holding out on was who was going to take on the iconic role of Laura Ingalls.
Yes.
And this is kind of cool. 10-year-old Alice Halsey is going to be that. And she is the same age that Melissa Gilbert was when the series premiered on NBC. So Melissa Gilbert was 10 when the show started. Alice Halsey, in this new iteration of it, 10 as well.
She has quite a history.
She has a lot of history as a child actress. Yeah. And I think what was kind of cool is that Melissa Gilbert actually handed over the torch on her Instagram account and actually announced Alice's casting there. So I thought that was kind of a cool connection.
Yeah. And the more you get into this, the more you'll realize it really is kind of a family experience, even in the actors and the relationships with each other. And that's a good example of, we are all coming together as family and passing the torch. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, speaking of family, she was on Days of Our Lives as Brie Larson's daughter, I think, on that. And it was on the Peacock streaming channel. She was also on Apple TV's Lessons in Chemistry, so a lot of people with some Apple channel experience here. She was on NBC's Night Court, and she's done some voiceover work for Disney. So this is going to be her big Netflix debut of a series and things like that. But it sounds like a really exciting thing for Alice Halsey to take over Laura.
Yeah, very happy for her. I did reach out to her and kind of welcomed her to the family on her Instagram account. And then Mary's been cast. She was Skywalker Hughes. This is actually going to play her. I reached out to her as well. She kind of cut her teeth on the children's programming with Blue's Clues and Paw Patrol.
Two of your favorite shows.
Right.
There you are.
Not sure I'm the audience for those.
Yeah, well, Well, one of the kind of cool things, they've got a character named Dr. George Tan, and it's going to be played by an American actor, Jocko Sims, or sometimes he's known as Jocko Sims III. And he was in Crash. He played Anthony Adams, and he was also in a series called The Last Ship. He played Carlton Burke. He was on the NBC TV show New Amsterdam. He portrayed Dr. Floyd Reynolds there. And he is actually a Black actor. So that is going to be a character that's going to bring a little bit more diversity to the Frontier people. Yeah. So that's kind of exciting, a little bit of a departure from maybe the Legacy series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is as it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
Then John Edwards.
That's the character's name. Yeah.
Yeah. Is being played by Hans Warren Christie, a Canadian television actor, known for his role as Ray. What?
Cataldo?
Yeah.
If we slaughter it, we're just grabbing their credits.
A drama, October Road. And as Adrian Greggy, what is with these last names?
Stiletto on the ABC series. It's a Happy Town.
Yeah.
That's that show.
Yeah. And more recently, Christie starred as Cameron Hicks in the
Sci-fi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alphas.
Alphas. Yeah, this is the name of that. There is a character called Good Eagle, which I'm guessing is an Indian, and it's going to be played by Ren Shawenham Gotts, who's a very young Native American actress, and this is her first big credit. So excited to see what Ren is going to do.
I'm very happy to see that they're kind of changing directions here, and in this series, they're actually going to cast Indigenous actors to play those parts. So that I'm glad to see that.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah. About time.
Yep. And then there's Mitchell. He's going to be played by Migwin Fairbrother, and he's a Canadian actor. Most known for his role as Owen Beckby in a television drama series that was called Burden of Truth. And that was a big hit in Canada. He was nominated for some awards for Best Supporting Actor. So obviously he's a little bit local to where they're filming the series. And he is from an Indigenous community in Canada. So he's native North American that is in the Canadian tribes.
Good. Okay. And then another character, White Sun, is played by Alyssa
Tonic.
Yes. She's a Canadian actress, director, and writer, most recently known for her role as Tiger Lily in the Disney film Peter Pan and Wendy from 2023. And she was born in Fort McMurray, January 15th. I'm not going to give her a year. She can share that with you if she wants to. And she was raised in Cochrane, Alberta.
Yeah, Alberta, Canada. So she's from that province. And And then the last one that we know so far is a character called Little Puma and Xander Cole. And Xander is going to be kind of near and dear to us because he's from Texas. He's from Garland, Texas, and he's done television and film. There's a show called The Web of Spider-Man that he was in. So if anybody's a big fan of Spider-Man, you might be familiar with Xander, but he's going to be playing Little Puma. Cool. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's the cast.
Yeah. So and the bad news is, at this point, we are not seeing any sign of Nelly Olson. So Allison's character,
Ingram from the Legacy series.
Right, yeah. From the original series. So far, we don't see that character yet, but it might be there.
Well, it's kind of interesting because if you look at the first book, the Olsons were not in the first book. So they may be coming later, or it may be a future season, or it may be halfway through the season or whatever, but it doesn't sound like they have plans on Nelly and her family being there from the start.
Right. What we're understanding at this point is that they're going to more stay true to the original books. So I look for them to follow those timelines that were established in the book. So yeah, you're right. Maybe it's coming in future episode or season. Right.
Well, and that harkens back to the executive producer over this entire thing, Rebecca Sonneschein. She was the producer and the showrunner for The Boys, which was on Amazon, which very different tone than Little House on the Prairie. She also ran the Vampire Diaries for the CW. So two really unlikely projects, but Rebecca pretty much said that she was a big fan of Little House on the Prairie growing up, but not the television show. She was a fan of the books. So I think that is going to be her goal. I think that's why you've got Rebecca coming in and why we're not seeing things like The Olsons and kind of some of the traditional TV series stuff. I think she's really going to try to make it her own thing. And she's a graduate of UCLA Film School and things like that. So Rebecca's very talented, but this is the first time I think that she's going for family drama and out west frontier type stuff. So I'll be really interested to see how she can do that shift in tone.
I'll be interested in seeing that as well. So now I hope she does stick to the books. That would be very nice. But I'm really another executive producer is Friendley. Now he is the son of Ed Friendley, who originally purchased the rights to the TV series. So he's involved in it as well. I'm looking forward to his take. We saw what his father did with the series, and I was very happy and proud of that. So I'm eager to see what he does with this one as well.
Well, and it's interesting because it's a tie to that Legacy series. And with Tripp there, the son of Ed Friendly, you really do feel like they have somebody who's looking over it and saying, okay, how can we retain some of the natural things from the original series? Yeah. How can we honor that legacy as well?
The original series was hugely successful, so I'm sure they're not trying to change that. When I wrote my book, I had to look at the image that was already established for the Engles family and decide, do I change that? Do I modify it? And if so, how? But why would you change a successful brand like that? So I didn't. And I'm hoping that they kind of stay true, at least to the foundations of what the original series had with it. And just a retelling of the story with some modern sensibilities.
Well, it'll be interesting to see where they go. And I think that a lot of fans are kind of bringing their hands over what's going to happen. Is it going to be too woke? Is it going to be this or that? Are they going to alter a lot of things?
We've heard a lot of that. In fact, I posted about it. And, the one thing I try to do in my post is try to make it a more positive experience for everyone. So sadly, some of the comments were not positive at all. In fact, they were so bad I had to delete them. But we are getting a lot of people saying they don't want the original series changed at all. They don't want to see that. But I'm personally, from an Engles family perspective, I am happy to see it. I think it's exactly what we need today as a show with that kind of message.
Well, tell everybody where they can find your posts. I mean, you mentioned that you talked about the reaction to the series, and if you want to follow an Engles and a real Engles person.
Yeah, so you can find me on Engles on the Prairie, which is the title of my first book. It's a story of my parents, Jennifer and Engles, but all jammed together, lowercase, Engles on the Prairie. On the Instagram, you can follow me on the author page, Arley Engles on Facebook. And you'll see all the stories about my family, expanded back to the same generation as Charles was, and then additional details we post what we talk about here on those two sites as well. I did create or secure the Instagram account, Little House on the Prairie Review. So all of it will be uploaded there in time, but it's not there today.
Yeah. And that's where you can find all of the information that we plan to cover on the podcast as well. If you want some kind of other additional materials or things like that. I mean, we're really going to try to track the evolution of this, maybe talk about the books quite a bit, the Legacy series. I think we're going to revisit that. We're going to try to do that in preparation for it because, as we mentioned earlier, the production's already in progress. It's being filmed in Canada. And I went to Netflix site to see kind of what the official proclamation was about the series. And they basically said that they see it as a transformed adaptation. They want to focus on family drama, survival stories, American frontier, things like that. And they actually stated that they are looking to capture the spirit of Laura Ingalls' books. So they really did emphasize that pretty hard already and offer a fresh perspective at the same time. So that may be giving us some clues as to why we're seeing the cast kind of expanded to include more of the Native Americans and things like that that we don't really associate often with the Little House television series from the 70s.
Sure.
Because I think they really kind of omitted that part of it.
Yeah.
And it was something that the books, definitely mentioned quite a bit, but definitely seeing them kind of influence the stories, that'll be interesting to kind of find out how that does that.
Yeah. I'll be very interested to see it.
Yeah. So what are you anticipating with this? I mean, I know that you were saying that you kind of like the idea of it renewing the interest in the Engels and things like that.
Yeah. So from my perspective, I think, everything that's going on today, we need some good news, some good, more wholesome in nature. And I think that was kind of one of the foundations of her book or her books. Certainly is of mine. Honesty, integrity, and doing the right things when given an opportunity has been a constant in our family all my growing up years, and I know it's in her works as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing a show that focuses on that in a real world environment, even though it is the frontier, populated in the West.
I'm going to be interested to see if they move locations a lot. I mean, I think that now that we've gotten into series like Game of Thrones and different things where they have multiple locations and they're able to move the sets from different areas, I think it'll be interesting to see if they make that major investment to actually kind of travel around Canada and the U.S. and use different locations as they film the series. That'll be really interesting to see.
It would be more true to what our family experience is and has been.
Yeah, and I want to know if it's planned for 9 seasons, which would mirror the books, which would mirror the original television series. 9 seems to be a magic number when you talk about Little House.
Yeah, it would make sense to do that.
So if we get an idea that it's 9 seasons, then they're definitely going to do a book a season.
Right.
Which the books...
That makes sense.
Yeah, but the books are easy to read. I mean, and they're quick. They were written for, I would say, middle school or elementary school children.
Yeah,
and they definitely... Children's books. It's young adult.
So they'll have to retell them and add some more adult elements to make it attractive to adults as well.
Yeah. Which I think that the series did a good job of doing that as well.
It did.
I mean, it was definitely the whole family, obviously incorporated. And of course, we are not going to be able to do any recap episodes until probably 2026 because it just went into production. So they got to do all the filming, all the after production and things like that. So,
however, we're going to keep you posted on what we hear is going on and anything that's related to the Little House. There are events that happen across the U.S. To commemorate different events in Laura's life and the Engles family itself. So look for more information about that from us as well.
Well, and you're going to maybe be at some of these events too, and we can find that about at your social media account.
That's right.
So
I'll post it. Let me where.
Yeah. Remind me again. What are your social?
Okay, so on Instagram, it's Engles on the Prairie, all jammed together, title of my first book. On Facebook, it's Arley Engels.
Okay, so those 2 channels, basically Instagram and Facebook, are the main ones, as well as this one, wherever you're getting this podcast.
You'll find it in the comments. I'll put a link in there, and then you should be seeing it written down here as well.
Yeah, No, but if you're listening to it just in audio, you should be able to do that too. So definitely subscribe to wherever you're getting this, and you'll keep updated.
Yeah, I'll keep you posted.
All right, and that's really all we know about this series so far.
At this point, that's what we know. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that's it. You know as much as we do now.
Yep. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.